Hello, guys. Welcome to Nascent Tutelage. This is the home of comprehensive lessons. If you have still not subscribed to this channel, please do so. Don't just watch the videos and enjoy the content. Please hit the subscribe button and share our channel with your friends. Today, we are going to be doing something very special. That is, we are doing a learnathon for new media and PR. Yes, you heard that right. We'll be taking you through most of the course areas or examinable areas for this particular course, and it's a whole bunch of areas. So we'll be doing this in bits with different videos. So brace yourself up, get a glass of water as we take you through this journey. What you don't want to do is to miss this and it shows up in the exam and you are not able to answer any of the questions. So as part of the agenda for this video, we'll be taking a look at new media. Basically, we'll be looking at the advantages and challenges that comes with the use of new media for public relations. We would also look at digital publics, who are they, and online behavior and the challenges that comes with managing these publics. We would also look at social media strategy, the steps to developing a social media strategy, and then we will look at content creation. We also look at influencer relations, how to build effective influencer relations, digital crisis management, what should be in a crisis management plan for digital media. We would also look at new media policy. What are the key components of a new media policy, as well as the importance of having a new media policy. We would also look at some ethical issues that comes with using new media channels. And then the last on the list is analytics and monitoring tools. So all this will not be covered in this video. We'll be doing it in bits. So for this video, we'll be looking at the first three on the list. So let's get right into it. So we would begin with the advantages of using new media. So just in case you are asked what are the advantages of new media to public relations, or how does new media facilitate public relations strategies? One is that one of the advantages is it facilitates instant dissemination of information. So with new media platforms, organizations have the ability to share news, updates, and announcements immediately and even in real time without having to go through traditional gatekeepers like journalists who would then have to filter the information to decide whether it is newsworthy or not. The new media platforms allows organizations to bypass these gatekeepers and just disseminate information quickly to their audience. And this is very important for public relation practitioners because they most of the time have to respond to crises, they have to launch products. So it's very, very important for public relation practitioners because when they are launching a product, they can use their social media lives to engage their audience. During crisis, they can just issue statements using these digital platforms without having to go through all the long queues and that the traditional media offers. So that's one key advantage of using new media. That is, it offers or it enhances or facilitates dissemination of information. The second advantage of new media platforms or using new media is that it offers a wide reach to audience. So new media platforms offers a global audience to public relation practitioners. So you have platforms like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X, which allows a lot of brands to reach millions of people without any geographic barriers. Unlike the traditional media where a TV station can reach, say, just people in Ghana, TV3 can reach just people in Ghana, or it has a confined geographic limitation. New media platforms are able to break beyond these barriers and offer a wider global reach for public relation practitioners. So, for instance, a fashion brand in Accra here can use Instagram to reach out to potential customers in the UK and even the US. You look at music brand like K-pop, BTS, they've gained a global or wide reach through social media platforms. I mean, you've not traveled to Korea, but you've gotten to know of these music bands. It's because of social media. So, social media platforms is advantageous because it offers a wide or a global reach for PR practitioners. The third advantage of using new media is that it offers interactivity. That is, it facilitates two-way communication. We know how important two-way communication is for a public relation practitioner. Unlike traditional media platforms where communication is more of one way, the audience don't get the opportunity to ask questions and get feedback from the communicator. New media platforms offers this kind of interactivity where audiences are able to engage with the brand, and this helps to build um, brand loyalty, because with interactivity, audiences are able to ask questions, they're able to engage in dialogue, they're able to comment and also share feedback with their brand. Okay, because the new media platforms allow them to engage directly with these brands, and this is very important for PROs because it helps to build very strong relationship with their stakeholders. So that is another key importance of using new media platforms. Also, the cost effectiveness nature of new media cannot be overwritten. I mean, traditional media or using traditional media like TV, radio, and print media can be very, very, very expensive. It can be very expensive, but with new media platforms like social media platforms, these platforms offers, I mean, significantly cheaper content compared to the traditional media. I mean, with just data and without having to pay for space, organizations can issue communication and even interact with their audience. But the cost that comes with advertising on billboards, I mean, advertising on TV stations, buying airtime on radio stations can be very expensive. So new media platforms offers a cheaper alternative for communication. So using new media platform comes with a lot of challenges. And one of these key challenges is that there is the issue of information overload and short attention spans. What this means is that when you take the digital ecosystem or the digital media platforms, it is saturated, or it is full of a whole lot of content, a whole lot of information, and this can shorten the attention spans of the people you are trying to communicate with. Because as a PRO or in PR, the effectiveness of your message is when it is clear and compelling, okay, for audience to understand. But once you start using digital platforms, there is a sheer volume of competing digital information, which means that your message can be easily lost, okay, in the noise. Take it as an example in a situation where an organization is battling with a crisis, say their product is defective and they are trying to communicate to their publics that they are working on it and measures are being put in place to restore parity. Even with a post like this, you will see in the comment section that people would be saying a whole lot of things that they will try to divert the attention of other people from the message you are trying to communicate. Okay, so this becomes a challenge because there's a whole lot of information that is battling with the information that you want to communicate as a brand. And so the people you are trying to communicate with now face the challenge of who to listen to, or whose story or whose side of the story to believe. And this is a challenge that more often than not is beyond the control of the public relations officer. Another challenge is the risk of negative virality. So, what negative virality means is that we did say that one advantage of new media is that it offers instant dissemination of information or speed. But with this speed comes the risk of negative virality, meaning that with a small mistake, because these platforms are very fast, or there is a speed, or because it accelerates quick communication, once you make a mistake or any small issue, any small misstep, any ethical lapse that the organization um, fails to comply with, it can lead to a crisis. It can lead to a crisis. And once it leads to a crisis, it becomes difficult for you to control whatever you've already posted out there. Okay. So, for instance, FIFA recently made a post in anticipation of the FIFA World Cup for next year. And in that post, they had a whole lot of footballers in that picture. But one of the greatest, Cristiano Ronaldo, was not part of the image. And people took to social media backlashing FIFA for including different players but not including one of the best players on the planet. And FIFA had to track down that post. So you see, because the digital platforms spreads information quickly, once you make a mistake in communicating to your audience, it can lead to a crisis, or it can go viral, and it will generate a negative publicity for your brand. So that's the challenge, or that is another challenge of using new media platforms. So algorithm changes is another challenge that is faced in using new media platforms. So new media platforms such as social media platforms uses algorithms that determine content visibility. So these algorithms determines which content is seen or visible to the publics or the digital publics. So the kind of content that shows up in your feed on Instagram, Facebook, X, and so on is determined by algorithms, which more often than not is beyond the control of the brand communicating. So, and these algorithms are determined by different factors. So, if you search, say, food joints in Medina, the first food joint page that will show up on your Facebook wall is determined by an algorithm, either because of the proximity or because of the following of the page, because it has a high following, or maybe because it has a higher engagement compared to other food pages in Medina. So what we are saying is that because these algorithms decide which content is visible to audience, it becomes difficult for PR practitioners to manage the reach or to enhance the visibility of their content. So they now have to rely on paid ads or sponsored content if they want to maintain a higher reach. So that is a challenge. Unlike traditional media, where if you pay for an airtime to advertise during a news hour on TV3, you know that TV3 has 5,000 people watching their evening news. But with social media platform, you never know the number of people that are going to see the content, because the platform uses an algorithm to determine who they want to see the content and who they think the content is not suitable for. Another genuine issue or challenge is the issue of fake news and misinformation. So these new media platforms facilitate, or I would say that because it allows user generated content, anybody can generate or create content with these new media platforms. What this means is that it facilitates the spread of misinformation and fake news, which poses a significant threat or a profound threat to a brand's integrity or credibility. So you see that people will just create fake news and post it on digital platforms. And this can tarnish the image of brands, because for a brand like MTN, somebody will just create a post that MTN is celebrating their 60th anniversary. Click on the link to claim your share of 5,000 Ghana cedis. Somebody falls for this creepy scam, and they then tend to think or believe that it was actually MTN that scammed them. So this would then affect the integrity and credibility of MTN, because the platform has allowed users to create content, and because of that, it is facilitating, or it is in a way manipulating the spread of fake news. And this is not just affecting the integrity of the brand, but also it means that they now have to allocate more resources to media monitoring tools like Meltwater, Hootsuite, to be able to identify and track down any form of miscommunication. Another genuine challenge is the challenge or the difficulty in maintaining message consistency across different channels or platforms. So modern PR requires that you have to manage a wide array of channels. I mean, seldom do you see that an organization or brand has just one social media platform. Most of the time, they have at least 3 or 4 channels, either Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, plus their websites, or WhatsApp, or a blog account attached to it. So, because you have to manage a wide array of platforms or digital platforms, and these platforms have different nature and different tone that you have to use to engage with your audience. Now, it becomes difficult for you to tailor one message suitable to be sent across all these different platforms. What this means is that if a PR wants to send out a communication, say a communication to promote an upcoming product launch, if they have 3 channels, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok, they have to tailor the content to suit the nature or the contents requirement of these platforms. Because TikTok will require that a short video form with an upbeat music or a trending song. That's how the platform is. If you want to appeal to audiences on TikTok, that's how you have to tailor your content. With Facebook, with a short post with a short caption, you can get their attention. Okay. And X2 is different. So this becomes difficult because you need to spend a lot of time to be able to tailor different messages for these platforms. And in doing that, you have to still make sure that you still stick to the core message, or the core message is communicated even while you are tweaking the content for the platform. So that is another challenge. So we've looked at 5 challenges that is associated with using new media platforms. The challenge of information overload, where because there is a whole lot of content and competing communication on the digital platforms, it becomes difficult for people to stick to your message because they have noises and competing voices with what you are trying to communicate. Another challenge is the risk of negative virality, meaning that any small mistake that you make or any small misstep that you make in communicating can make you go viral for all the negative or wrong reasons. Then we have algorithm changes. meaning that these platforms uses algorithms that determines content visibility, and because these algorithms are not under the control of the PRO, it affects the reach and visibility of content. So PROs now have to rely on paid content if they want to maintain a higher reach or visibility. We did also talk about the issue of fake news and misinformation, that due to the speed and the pace at which information travels on these platforms, it facilitates fake news and misinformation. People can just create fake news or misinform others about your brand on social platforms, and it becomes difficult for you to control, because you now have to focus more on monitoring, and it's even difficult to track down the source of the fake news. Okay, and then the difficulty in maintaining message consistency, where you now have to spend a whole lot of time in tailoring messages suitable for the nature of the content of each platform while maintaining the core message that you want to communicate. So we've moved from new media, that is introduction to new media. We've looked at the advantages and challenges. Now we are shifting attention to digital publics and online behavior. So when we say digital publics, it basically refers to we humans that we are on social media platforms interacting around our area of interest. Okay. And even though we all have even though we all have our real life identity, once we pick up our phones or once we log into our social media accounts or once we are online, most of us are different people altogether. So we'll begin by looking at the characteristics of online behavior. So one major characteristic of online behavior is anonymity and pseudonymity. Many online platforms allows users to hide their real identity, okay, or to even use pseudonyms. That is, they are able to use names that are not their real names. So your name is Esther, but on social media you are known by Ajuabad Beach or a different name that people will least suspect that it is you. Okay, and when people feel anonymous, their behavior often tend to change. They sometimes become more expressive, they become bold, they become hostile because they feel less accountable. So you see someone who is shy in real person, but because the person is hiding under anonymity and using a pseudonym on social media platforms, they are able to express themselves and even insult people. But in real life, if they tell you that this is the person behaving like that online, you wouldn't believe it. So that's one characteristics of online behavior, where the platforms allows people to be anonymous. It allows people to hide their identity, and because of that, people become more expressive. They become less accountable, and as a result, they don't fear any consequences for their actions, because you wouldn't be able to identify them in real life that they are the ones behind these um, accounts. So that is one characteristic of online behavior. Another characteristic of online behavior is instantaneity. That is rapid reactions and viral trends. So as we see it, online communication often happens in real time. Users are able to react instantly, and posts can go viral in minutes. So Fabrizio Romano makes a post, here we go. Cristiano Ronaldo to Al Nassr. Within a second or within a minute, thousands of people have liked the post. Okay, so that is one characteristic of online behavior: instantaneity. It's rapid reactions. It facilitates rapid reactions and viral trends. Okay, why does this matter? There are importance and also disadvantages of the instantaneity nature of these platforms, because at least it tells you to spread good news faster, and the back side or the downside of it is that when you receive a backlash, it can escalate before you even respond. So for instance, when a restaurant like Papaya is accused of poor hygienic operation conditions. Once someone posts a picture of it, it can go viral within seconds, and this damages your reputation before you can even respond. Because once you even respond as a brand and you try to deny it, people have photos to show. I mean, it has gone viral. You can't change the opinions of people that has already been formed. So that's another characteristics of online behavior: instantaneity. It facilitates quick or fast reactions and viral trends. Another is interactivity. We did explain this under the advantages of new media, so I wouldn't like to go deep into it, where we said that the platforms is characterized by two-way communication. People can react and get feedback and all sorts of things. They're able to engage with their brands, influencers, and people in real time, and they're able to interact with them. So it's more like interactive dialogue instead of one-way communication. So another characteristic is participatory culture or user generated content. So digital platforms allows or encourages users to not only consume content but to also create, edit and even share it. And this makes them co-producers of the content that brands produce. Why is this important? Users, because they can produce and edit content, it's most of the time influences the brand narratives. Okay. Quite recently, Nicki Minaj was doing a challenge where she was sitting on one leg, and most people were trying to replicate that. They were trying to do the same post. So that is one nature of online behavior, where people always want to create content, or they want to also edit one someone has already done. So Kivo Gari, Bell Cola, then people are also creating their own with music and dance and all these kind of things. So it is one characteristics of online behavior where users of digital platforms are not only consuming the content that brands are giving to them, but they are trying to create their own and also edit it, and this can influence the narrative that the brand wants to portray to their audience. So echo chambers and filter bubbles is another characteristics. Social media algorithms most of the time show users content that is similar to what they already like, follow or agree with. So once you like football, or you always follow football content or share football content on social media, you will see that over time it will create echo chambers. What the echo chambers means is that it will create a situation where you only encounter or see content from like-minded people, or people who post about what you already follow or like. So once you are someone who likes fashion, you like fashion, makeup, nails, and you always like these kind of posts on Instagram, most of the time your feed will be full of this kind of content. If you are someone who is into politics like I do, liking Afenyomakin and all these politicians, any post about them, you will see that it will show up in your feed. So that is another nature of the online behavior, where the algorithms of the platforms would tailor or would only suggest or give content to your feed that is similar to content that you already follow, like, or share with other people. Surveillance awareness is another. Most of the users of digital platforms, we do know that our behavior or what we do on these platforms is being tracked. Okay, we know that because users are increasingly aware that their data is tracked through cookies and algorithms, analytics of the platforms. Okay, especially for advertisers, because you know that once you search for something on Google, you come to your Instagram feed and it is only search content that is showing. Do you want to buy this bracelet? Do you want to buy this bracelet? Because they've seen that you've been searching on it on Google. So another characteristic, like we are saying, is surveillance awareness, where users of digital platforms are very much aware that their data is being collected and tracked. That's even the more reason why when some of you are browsing on the internet, you do put on incognito mode, because you know that whatever you search is being collected and tracked, and this data will be used to, or will be sold out to brands or advertisers. So that is another nature of online behavior, where because you know that your behavior or what you do is being tracked and your data being collected, you become aware and it influences how you behave online. So these are the major characteristics of online behavior, how people behave online. So let's now take a look at the challenges that PROs face in understanding digital publics. So, now that you know that most users or social media or digital platform users are operating under anonymity and pseudonym and other stuff, it becomes difficult to understand or engage them. So we are going to look at some of the challenges that a PRO faces when they are trying to engage digital publics or audiences. One is fragmentation, where audiences are spread or scattered across different platforms and niche. So unlike traditional media where you know that you are reaching out to this audience with this TV station, with the digital platforms, you have the audience scattered across different platforms and apps. So you have the youthful population most of the time using TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, where the older generation will be using Facebook. Okay, so as a PRO, you don't have to just focus on one platform. Knowing that your audience are fragmented, that is scattered across platforms, it means that you now have to create content for each of these platforms if you want to actually reach out to each of your publics or audiences, because they are not all on one platform. They are scattered across the platforms. So what this means is that you need to create a message to reach out to them on all these platforms. Another challenge is algorithm influence or algorithmic influence. We have talked about this algorithm changes, that the digital platform uses algorithms to determine the kind of content that appears on users' feed or the kind of content that is visible to users. What this means is that as publics or trying to engage these digital publics, they are not only influenced by their interests, okay, they are also influenced by the automated systems controlling the visibility of the content that they see. Because as a digital public, if I like football content and the algorithm is only showing me football content, it doesn't necessarily mean that I only like football content. How about if I like fashion? Okay, so because the algorithm is prioritizing the what I like or what I follow, it influences the visibility of the content that the PRO is trying to communicate. So that's another challenge that a PRO faces in understanding digital audience, where the algorithm has an influence or an impact on what the users see. So what the PRO, the message that the PRO will send out, they might not necessarily reach out to the intended audiences unless the algorithm prioritizes them. And this is another challenge which makes it difficult for the PRO to understand the digital publics as in their interest and how to even engage them. Another challenge is data overload. Data overload. So it's difficult to separate insights from noise. Don't forget, we are looking at the challenges that a PRO faces in understanding digital publics. So there is a challenge of data overload where, because there is a whole lot of massive amount of data, that is comments, likes, shares, hashtags, it is difficult for the PRO to separate noise from insights. Don't forget that these digital publics, most of them are operating under pseudonymity and anonymity, where they are not using their real identities. So it's the same for their opinions. Most of the time, the opinions or the comments under a post, most of them are not genuine. Most of them are just trying to fanfool. Some of them are not even posting comment that is relevant to what you've posted. Some are promoting their products under the comment section and all that. So because there's a whole lot of data, that is comments, shares, and also likes, the PRO find it difficult to actually figure out the noise from the insight. Which of these comments are genuine? Which of these comments are noise or are just fake? Because if MTN posts that they are working to restore parity with a network challenge, some people, even if they are not experiencing these challenges, they will still come and comment under the post. So it becomes difficult for you to separate or for you to filter which of the data or which of the comments are genuine and which of them are noise, for you to be able to attend to them and address these issues. So that is another challenge. Another challenge is trolling and misinformation. So trolling is when you intentionally or you deliberately act in an offensive manner. Okay, so because these digital platforms allows for fake accounts, people can just, engage in all sorts of disruptive behavior which can distort public discourse, because a PRO or a brand tries to make a post or try to address an issue, and because some people are just bent on trolling and spreading misinformation, they may even make an issue look worse than it actually is. Okay, and people would actually join them in spreading this misinformation. So before you as a brand can even react and address the major issues, these people have already worsened the situation for you. So it's become challenging for you to, change the perception or the opinions of people about your brand, because the digital platforms allows people to create fake accounts and hide behind the social facade to troll and also spread misinformation. And because they are spreading misinformation, people would believe it. Genuine customers are going to believe it, and it's going to affect their reputation, the credibility of the organization. So let's now take a look at the implications for a public relation practitioner. So we have looked at the characteristics of online behavior and the challenges that comes with understanding these digital publics. So as a PRO, now that you know, or with insight from this, knowing that these digital publics behave differently from traditional audiences, their anonymity, interactivity, and their rapid reactions shape how PR professionals must operate in online environments. So we want to look at some of the points that, or some dynamics or strategies that PROs have to follow or have to adapt to be able to engage these digital publics. So one key point is that you have to, or the PRO has to listen actively to digital conversations or digital publics, what they're actually saying on digital platforms. Okay, so in digital environments, conversations are constantly ongoing about a brand on X, on Instagram, WhatsApp groups, and so on. So the PR professional has to or must constantly monitor these conversations in order to gauge out or understand the genuine public concerns, opinions, and also arising or emerging issues. Okay, because once the PR practitioner is able to listen actively and constantly to conversations that are ongoing on digital platforms, it helps them to identify complaints and address them. Okay, so that these does not escalate into crisis. Okay, and this also helps the PRO because it's listening actively to digital publics. It helps them to understand trending topics and also public sentiment, what they think or feel about your brand. So engaging digital publics requires that a PRO listens actively to digital publics so that they can identify genuine concerns, complaints, and be able to address these concerns before it escalates into a crisis. So another strategy for engaging digital publics is you have to tailor messages to the norms, expectations, and tone of different platforms. We did speak about this when we were talking about the challenges in using digital media, where we said there's a challenge of maintaining message consistency across platforms. So in engaging digital publics, you have to tailor your content to suit the nature or the requirement of different platforms. So each digital platform has its own culture, it has its own audience and content format, which is very important. Content format. So a message that will work on LinkedIn may not work on TikTok. Like I've said, TikTok is kind of more tailored for short videos with engaging music. Okay, so PROs must adapt their communications to fit the style or each content's expectations, each platform's expectations and style. Okay. So another key strategy is that when engaging these publics, you need to engage with them with authenticity in order to build trust. So digital publics value authenticity. They expect that brands communicate with honesty and also respond to their concerns, because any post that you make, they will comment on it. So once you are not addressing these concerns, you are not being genuine, you are not being honest, you are not responding in a timely fashion to their concerns, it will be difficult for you to engage them. So most of the brands, what they do is that once they make a post and people raise a comment or a complaint, right under the comment section, they will tag the person and say, Ajua, we are working on this. Sorry for the challenges you are facing. We are working on this to restore network in your area. Even though they are not working on it, they are just trying to be responsive so that you feel, so that you are able to have some trust or build some trust with them. So that is what this means, that when engaging digital publics, make sure that you are engaging with them with authenticity. Be honest in your communication so that you can build emotional connection with them. Don't make messages feel more like robotic or mechanic. Okay? Build emotional connections with them. Respond to their complaints. Respond to their issues and their concerns. That is one way to effectively engage digital publics. So to effectively engage digital publics, you have to also acknowledge the fact or the strategy of monitoring sentiment and responding to crisis quickly. So online conversations, they spread rapidly. One negative comment can trigger a whole lot of reactions, and this can even lead to damaging the reputation of your brand within hours. Okay, so PROs have to constantly monitor public sentiment. They have to use monitoring tools. You know them, Meltwater, Hootsuite, and so on and so forth, to actively and constantly monitor the conversations around their brands so that they're able to understand the public sentiment. Is it positive or negative sentiment that people are actually having about your brand? So once they're able to track public sentiment and address issues before they intensify, they're able to address all issues that have the potential of becoming a crisis. So that is another strategy in engaging digital publics. Constantly monitor and address issues before they become or they escalate into crisis. Another effective strategy is that you have to leverage influencer partnership or partner with influencers and brand ambassadors in a strategic manner. So most users or digital platform users or digital publics, they do trust influencers. They have people that they look up to, people that influence their opinions. So as a brand, you have to partner or you have to make use of influencers if you want to reach out to your audience, because influencers have a wide reach and they have strong impact. Their opinions can influence the purchasing decisions of people. So if you want to engage digital publics, leverage influencers that align with your brand values, partner them, and use them to intensify and amplify your public relation campaigns and messages.